Yeah. One West. Some people live the good life. Them and them steak and mummy pot dry. But they tell me I gotta die for happy, for have it. Millions, house and cars and bike. I got the pussy them don't want see we have a 1,000 tall up rifle. I got them want to see na fi we hand. You know give we food fi we yam. And when the youth use brilliance, fuck up the road like Gideon. You start call man billion. The bad boy, true me say don't rush me a bad fly. And true me no got church, me no baptize. Don't tell me no heaven in a that sky when some people live the good life. Them and them steak and mummy pot dry. But they tell me I gotta die for happy. No joy for the black boy. The ghetto youth them a fuck up the road and tough up the code dust, no go below. C99 man a shuffle the board. And if you no know then you no fi know. Matic in a waist we no go lucky mode. This one West boy get up the load. Who no know when me no shoes and me no food and no clothes. We no do the posing, we no export. Us a wait for the right time for we explode. Hustle man a hustle charge you we make show. And we can't wait for the next show. Some people live the good life. Them and them steak and mummy pot dry. Come and tell me I gotta die for happy. No joy for the black boy. Millions, house and cars and bike. I got the pussy them don't want see we have a 1,000 tall up rifle. I got them want to see na fi we hand. You know give we food fi we yam. And when the youth get original, fuck up the road like Gideon. You start call man criminal. In killer them a search for them heaven on earth. Man a fi a fight with the devil from birth. Poverty a time for your Lego man shirt. Your man a fi stay blessed all when the land curse. All when the land curse. I know the GLE them want see we in a one earth. The bad boy, true me said don't rush me a bad fly. And true me no got church, me no baptize. Don't tell me no heaven in a that sky with. Some people live the good life. Them and them steak and mummy pot dry. But they tell me I gotta die for happy. No joy for the black boy. Yeah. I One West. Taking over. Aha. Yo, Nayata.
Yo, Gucci.
Strap to the bone, chat to me crew. Fire one in a them head, chat to the dome. Them boy they no bad, that a way me know. Only bad when the man friend pop pill alone. Tall rifle a roll under me clothes. One West a run road that a fi be known. Brown in bad bitch, not silicone. Rich badness, fat belly full. Them boy they not ready for the gun life. Give them a pitchfork and a ground knife. Press the chip clock on the front line. If the road dark, he become bright. Me dog them a killer when a sunlight. We was a transform when it turn night. Chris Kalish cuff we black and white. With the red light on the front eye. Toppy show. Tap about things where you nothing know. Toppy show. Kel taking a me and that a no fi show. Rifle bind them big like puppy toe. A tall rifle a mat we go fi four. Toppy show. Batty boy stop chat where the fuck you know. Thing them ram up in a skin them. Time you get lead poison in an infection. Make your dopey rise quicker than inflation. And the eye cast a living in bed from the inception. That's how the thing them turn. Start off slow, now the thing get strong. A One West and it never take long. Now we a do the road mad injection. Toppy show. Tap about things where you no fi know. Toppy show. Kel taking a me and that a no fi show. Rifle bind them big like puppy toe. A tall rifle a mat we go fi four. Toppy show. Batty boy stop chat where the fuck you know. Them boy they not ready for the gun life. Give them a pitchfork and a ground knife. Press the chip clock on the front line. If the road dark he become bright. Me dog them a killer when a sunlight. We was a transform when it turn night. Chris Kalish cuff we black and white. Make the rain fall and the ground dry.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K, under Commanding General YAHANNA, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General YAHANNA. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Yeah. I want West in I place once more. Yeah, easy. You wanna know where I come from? You wanna know where I come from? I don't find the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid peace. Me tip over to pretty Christine, a big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty Christine. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now your top 10 killing increase. And we no join both sides. I one West are the best, you fi know why. You put a S on your chest when the chrome pint. Every bone a broke we left lone tribe. Make a force right boy if you know your size. Don't see me on the street and a force fight. You get ratchet knife in your throat pipe. Man will make your chop flesh like your ghost rise. Give up the ghost, make it both wife. Y'all shut up, bend over, pan to a pint. Fuck you, make you get wet like a boat ride. If you hold tight, y'all, me a hold tight. Alright, no later, then more time. Me have things to do, but got more fight. No give it the nanny, girl, do a bright. Play we shoot the bumbo clad, you grind. That's where me come from. I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid piece. Me step over to pretty Christine, a big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now your top thing. Yeah, them too bad, I just smoke them off, I just slogan. You coulda big and tough like Hulk Hogan. You get your own a bag, you get total. Send your soul to God, the best no God. The whole fucking clip of your own that. You come set no chop for your own bat. I go get sent off a run postal. Get a PO box. She say me handsome, she want hold me cocky at ransom. She want hood fi broke, she want yam some. She say breed me, give me that one son. Boy, we have shotgun, we have Remington, we have Magnum. So if a beef you want, you can have some. Anything we come turn in a phantom. And where we come from, I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid piece. Me step over to pretty Christine, a big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now your top 10 killing increase. Increase. You know, yeah, Z. I one was in a building. You know when we come through, just hide the gal them and hide the liquor. Warning. Say this from me heart on a rum chat. Here we contact, get your gunshot. Make the sun dark and the ground black. We plant calm but I never agriculture. I know the eagle in the tongue of the vehicle. When young people that are the vulture. Say them evil never the vulture. They coulda run pan diesel that a fee puncher. Away the blood clot. Do some gun back.
How the blood clot? Do some gun back. Easy we coulda speech it inna the Honda. Sleepy gunshot beat him inna him slumber. Greedy fi make them dopey a the younger. Glad say me nah pre when me the younger. That no mean say no pussy can try. Pussy try run up and give with them life. Can't see penalty give with 3 points. This one West boy you must see one die. How the blood clot? Do some gun back. How the blood clot? Do some gun back. Don't start war with we. You will see, you'll see. My dog them are real. Better agree. Don't stop war with we. You will see, you'll see. My dog them are real. Better agree.
The I.S.U.P.K presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh, Hashem, Shabrak, to all the brothers, Yahweh, Shemal, Atam, Hashem, to all the sisters. You already know what it is. One West Ground Zero, episode 27. You understand? Hosted by Officer 1000 Adiyar and myself, Officer 500 Baraki Allah. Right? We are in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, the I.S.U.P.K, under Commandant General YAHANNA. Since 1969, you've been given, nothing but the truth from us when it comes to your identity, every solution to your problems. You understand? Whatever we face, from whatever tribe, because we all go through the same oppression. Being in the ghettos, barrios, favelas, what you call it again? Trench town, whatever you want to call it, reservation. So-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native are the same people. They're the real biblical Israelites of antiquity, not these bastards over there bombing Palestinians to smithereen. And when I say bastard, I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all. I'm just being biblical in a literal sense. The Bible says, a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. A mamzer shall dwell in Ashdod. That's not me who said it. You understand? I did not call you a bastard. I'm just reading from the Bible. If I got to prove it, well, as the Bible said, prove all things, we could pull up the scripture. The point is, you are the real Jews. You, so-called Black, Latinos, and Native, are the real biblical Israelites. And with that comes what? With your identity comes a culture. And with your identity, not only comes a culture, right? But something else is brought up with the identity that we don't know we have. Is hope. Hope that we're not supposed to be at the bottom of the barrel. We're not a meaningless and savage people as we are portrayed to be. We're not. We're the only people with morals. We're the only people that could keep every single brother, sister, their children, their grandmother safe. No other nation could do so. How do we know that? Well, it's simple. When we look at the other nations, what happens? Salakia. We look at the other nations, all we see is deprivation. Look at the church. The mosque is no different. Muslims are battling whether or not Aisha was 6 or was she 16. Either way, she was definitely not ready for a 54-year-old man.
Right.
Dalai Lama, you think the Buddhists are so wise and thing? The Buddhist monks, the Buddhist temples. He's sucking on little boys' tongues on live TV. What makes you think the Buddhists have the knowledge? They're pedophiles like the church. You understand? When you look into it, even anything that is morally sound when it comes to the other nations, they got it from us. And it still was not enough. They still had to twist it and bastardize it. How do I know that? In the Quran, it says Muslims are not allowed to eat pork unless they're hungry. Yeah, Ramadan is coming, by the way, just so y'all know. Y'all gonna skip lunch and be hungry for 30 days. Does that mean that you can now eat pork just because you can't handle fasting, skipping lunch? You understand? No nation is fit to rule but the nation of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives. Salaki, I don't know for being long-winded.
Damn right. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Israel. You know what I'm saying? You already know, you know what I'm saying? We over here back with you, you know what I'm saying? Back at you with another episode, you know what I'm saying, in Montreal. Tune in, like, and share. And you know what I'm saying? Like we see the weather, you know what I'm saying, looking good. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, the winter will be over pretty soon, man.
Oh, good night. Y'all about to see the UPK 24/7 in the streets of Montreal.
Right, then,
And
right.
you know what? Imagine that. In the dead of winter. When was it? Was it last week? That was it the week before. The week before, it was freezing. Like people were freezing to death. And where were we? We were at the community center across the street from the plaza in Uptown, teaching blacks, Latinos, and native that they are the real biblical Israelites, that they should not be drug dealers, that our sisters should not be whores, that they should not go ahead and get an abortion because the white man told them that if they're not ready to have a baby, they should not have it. They should terminate its life. That's what we're doing. We're giving an alternative to every single brother and sister living an alternative lifestyle. You understand? Because really, there's no such thing as an alternative lifestyle. There's no such thing as an other lifestyle to live, but the one as according to the Bible. That's what the Torah is. It's the lifestyle of the Israelites. Meaning,
Right.
Don't prey on your brother's wife. Besides it being a sin, you really are a sodomite. How are you gonna dip yourself where another man dips? That's gay as hell. Salakia.
And just, like I just wanted to mention something, like you know what I'm saying, when you mentioned the Dalai Lama sucking sucking little boy's tongue, right? You know what I'm saying? This is exactly the type of thing you see in the Jeffrey Epstein file. You know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't be a surprise all these, you know what I'm saying, so-called wise men that you think, you know what I'm saying, that's in the world are in the Epstein file or worse. You know what I'm saying? Like pretty soon you're probably gonna hear Canada, you understand, when they have their own Epstein file with the atrocities that they've been committing on people, on their own citizens. So
that's funny you say that on one, right? Apparently, Epstein loved Montreal. And for those who don't know, Montreal has a big problem of little, underage white girls appearing and being prostituted. Well, now that we know that Epstein loved Montreal, hey, I'll leave it to you to speculate.
Exactly.
I'm gonna leave it at that. Salakia. You want to blame the Haitians? The Haitians and the Jamaicans are prostituting little white girls. Come to find out, most of these white girls are being prostituted by not only the Hells Angels, who are a white criminal organization. You have the Russian mafia. I mean, listen, all these criminal organizations are not Haitian, are not black, are not Jamaicans or West Indians or whatnot. You might find one petty criminal that is not supposed to live, that only lives the lifestyle he adopted from the Italians, that he adopted from the white Canadians, the bikers, that he adopted from the Irish. When you come to find out that these girls are being prostituted by white men, and most likely on Epstein's Island. You understand? We'll get into the topics of today. Good night. Talking about the topics of today and rulership. The topics of today will show that our oppressor right now is not fit to rule at all. Out of all these nations, really, we know that we're the only one fit to rule, but good night. They're doing a number on their own people. And I wanted to keep that topic for one of the last ones, but damn, this is diabolical. There was a recent mass shooting. This is the worst mass shooting in Canada's history. Canada's history. Imagine that. the he she, whatever they want to identify as, which I don't care. This man try to identify as a woman from what? From he's 16, 17, who cares, right? Unalive his own brother, his own mother, and then went on a shooting spree in the high school. And really, I still don't understand why these people just, why would in your mind, you're so hurt, you come up with the idea of going to shoot up a school? What did these people do to you? Yeah, like, I don't understand. Like, what is in the psyche of this community? You understand? Let me share my screen real quick.
And so, like, if I may, while you do that, you know what I'm saying, that none of them is nobody's profiling them as being like, you know what I'm saying, like really, you know what I'm saying, terrorists, domestic terrorists, you know what I'm saying, like really criminal. Meanwhile, they should be, because they profile us exactly as being criminals and whatnot, drug dealers. Meanwhile, you have those LGBT colored, you know what I'm saying, rainbow colored people, you know what I'm saying, that committing a bunch of atrocities and they're not being profiled.
Karawakan. And when we look into that, it says, concerning old social media posts allegedly linked to suspect in Tumbler Ridge school shooting resurface. Meaning what? They already had red flags about that person. First of all, you identify something you're not supposed to be. And we see it all the time. The Jewish man identifies the real Jew. Now there's blood spilling throughout the streets of the Middle East. Like, an identity crisis is dangerous. Don't matter if it's because of your sexuality, your gender, your nationality. If you claim to be something you're not, it's dangerous. You know how I know? Because apparently gang members claim to be from a set and then they get violated. That's what they call it, right? They get jumped because it's what they call it again? They're set tripping, or it's a false claim or whatnot. You know, claiming something you're not is dangerous, apparently. Allegedly, he claimed to be a woman. This dysfunctional individual had a lot of red flags. There's a whole manifesto about not feeling comfortable in what they identified as. Well, maybe you should have remained what you were from birth. Just maybe. I'm not an expert, but then again, there is, what was that? A couple years ago, the man that shot up a gay club, that was not a heterosexual man. That was one of the homosexuals that attended that gay club.
It's like unaliving other you know what I'm saying, people in the same lifestyle too.
Imagine that. And they said there's a target on their back. They're targeted by their own people.
They're like the Jewish people.
Yeah. It's a lot, yeah. But now there's disturbing footage that resurfacing from this individual. Oh, good night. This is what he said. His name is Jesse something. I forgot what his name is. We'll figure it out in a second. He said, how do I stop comparing myself to fictional characters? Well, you're born as a man, you remain a man. It's that simple. Nobody told you to put on a dress. And that's the problem, right? How do you stop? You just said it yourself. You just stop. And really, clearly that person, right, it's not, you know, for everybody in this community, because I keep saying I need to find the clip. I'm going to find the clip right now. Right? There's a clip of the sodomite that says, nobody in this community is mentally functional, right? That's what the sodomite says. It says everybody in this community is dysfunctional to an extent. They're not sane. And that's not me saying it. I'm paraphrasing what the sodomite is saying. And I'm going to put the clip right now, right? That person needed help. If white people would take care of their mentally ill, or of, you know, if they would listen to the cry for help of their people, that tragedy could have been prevented. Clearly, they were not comfortable in their skin. They needed counsel.
Exactly.
That's what they needed. White people don't, you know what white people do? They, how do you call it again? They fuel their habit. They enabled it. How? By accepting the delusion of a delusional people. Now, when they realize it's a delusion and they're too deep into it, it's like how do they were to the point of no return.
Exactly.
And you really can't come back from unaliving anybody. You can't come back from unaliving anybody. You can't come back from unaliving yourself. Once you take a life, I'm not saying it's the end because we believe in reincarnation, but that's not the point. You cannot take back the hurt that you put on other people. You can't take that back. You can't take back the hurt that you put on yourself. Who knows what type of abuse you either went through at the hands of others or at your own hands trying to be something you're not. This is why white people are not fit to rule. And the I.S.P.K provide counsel. You understand? There's a way to address issues. But the white people don't address white people's issues. They just let it be. That's why there was a shooter in Buffalo, New York. That's why there was a shooter right there in, what is it, Tumbler Ridge High School. They don't address the issue that their people are facing. And this is the problem. That's what our oppressor is not fit to rule. Salakia, I'm going to find the clip real quick. I don't want Salakia.
And also, like you said, I just posted another one today where I'm going to read it. I posted it on my Facebook page, right? Released after stabbing his own kids. A trans-identified man, Alice Atwood, in Canada, stabbed his 7 and 8 years old children. His daughter needed emergency surgery. Somehow was granted bail. You understand? So this is exactly the same type of people that's committing these crimes. So you understand? So this is why it needs to be studied. Like they need to have a study to say, well, these people are more prone to violence, to killing, to unaliving others. You understand? So this is why it needs to be studied. Like you understand, they need to be like I said, like classified as somebody that's might be endangering, you understand, the community, the country, or themselves.
Imagine that. Another person of their own community. What do they say? They unalive their own children. Whatever the reason is really does not matter. Why would you just go and unalive kids? Like, what possessed them to unalive their own kids? Their own kids or not, it's irrelevant. There you go. I found the clip. Let me share this clip, right? This is directly from a sodomite.
I.S.U.P.K told you about this years ago. You wouldn't listen. Maybe now you will.
You said you weren't born gay? No, that's anyone that says that is not all there. You're not born gay. You're gay from your circumstances in life. And you're gay from what you went through as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Most gay people want to sit here and act like they're just these special human beings that were born with a rainbow over them. No, talk to most of them. Molested, no dad, weak dad, you know, influenced a certain way, you know, a lot of female energy. You're not born gay. Like, that's literally impossible. So, yeah, and gay, a lot of people that are gay, I'm not saying there's no straight people that don't want to be dysfunction. I have straight cousins that were molested, were tortured, were abused, and they're very much, you know, it's the opposite gender, but look at the gay community, it's like,
The I.S.U.P.
The man said there's no gay person that is not dysfunctional. He's a sodomite. You can't say that we're biased or we're bigots. He's of that community that's saying that community, they're all dysfunctional. And the U.P.K literally told you before, right? It stems from most of them being molested. The gay man just said it. Or being conditioned to be that way. He said that too. He said, don't believe the hype that, yeah, you could be born this way. There is not one gay person that is born this way. They're either a result of trauma or conditioning. And we're not making this up. If you believe that, oh yeah, you're bigots and you don't like this community, we tell them, listen, just to make sure that you don't go through the same thing that unaliver went through, change your life. And that's not hate, that's love. This gay man said, yeah, all this community is dysfunctional. The proof is where? The mass shooting that just happened in Canada. And that other sodomite in Canada as well that unalived his son and his daughter. He stabbed them. And he looked, damn, all white people look crazy as hell, but good night. Look at his face. Good night. And then, you know what?
You see the crazy in his face.
You see the demon in his face. You know what? Then he said, being out on bail, he's now rolling in a van that looks like a Scooby-Doo van, right? That says children lives matter. You just took 2 children lives, your own at that. Damn. Let's see if I can find a picture of his face.
And so, like, just to add, right? Like, most people think like loving you is allowing you to do anything that's destructive to you. That's not what love is. You know what I'm saying? If I see you in a condition of, you know what I'm saying, destruction, of self-destruction, and I don't let you know, I don't love you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about you. Loving somebody is correcting the behavior or the bad behavior of a person, like helping the person to change their life. You know what I'm saying? That's what real love is. You know what I'm saying? I can see you like going through something that is destructive, and I just let you exactly, you know what I'm saying, do whatever that you want. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened with the gays, the LGBTQ. These are people that need help. These are, like you said earlier, these are people that need counseling. These are people that need, like, you know what I'm saying, closure with themselves and understanding, like, you know what I'm saying, you don't have to be the certain way. You wasn't born that way. You was born away, and you've been conditioned to be like that today. You know what I'm saying? This is what they need. They need help. They need psychiatric help. You know what I'm saying? They need a shrink. But, you know what I'm saying, instead of giving them that, Canada, America, this empire allows them to feed into like those negative emotion, those negative like vibe that they feel or whatnot, and let them do whatever that they want. And this is the result of that. You know what I'm saying? The result is he's gonna do whatever he wants. He's gonna unalive his own kid. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna unalive, you know what I'm saying, like go on the shooting spree, you know what I'm saying, in the school where people are studying to for the future. You know what I'm saying? Go somewhere, like, you know what I'm saying, like, why don't you go to Epstein Island and shoot it up? You know what I'm saying? Go to where, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, those women are being molested, you know what I'm saying, the strip club or whatnot. So, like, yo, I'm not telling you to do that, but I in a common sense, if you want to help, you know what I'm saying, you will go where people are abusing people, you know what I'm saying, and do whatever you have to do. Not a school where young kids are learning to, you know what I'm saying, to become better for the future or prepare for the future, man. You know what I'm saying? And Canada, we're not telling any LGBTQ to go on a live people out there. You know what I'm saying? It's just an example. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do something like, you know what I'm saying, like that will be better, like for the community, for people to help others. But obviously they're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? They're going where, you know what I'm saying, the weaks are. You know what I'm saying? Where the people, you know what I'm saying, the children that do not have no protection are. There's no police officers in those schools. So they know, you know what I'm saying, like if they're going to school, nobody's gonna stop them. There's no, you know what I'm saying, police officer, you know what I'm saying, in those churches. That's why they go in those churches and kill unalive people, man. You understand? And this is why in our community we should be exactly warriors in our community, because who else they're gonna come into? You know what I'm saying? Who else they're gonna want to unalive when, you know what I'm saying, everything else is secured? You, Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. That's why so many Native Indians are missing, and nobody, you know what I'm saying, care about that. But in the UPK we do. So like
Karawakan. And you know what I seen too, right? I seen I think it's a brother he was talking about. Well, see the fine with like confiscating the firearms of people. That's not gonna fix it. Why? In the UK, you know what they do? They don't have access to guns, they have access to knives. In Germany, they don't have access to neither. What do? They ram vehicles into buildings. Like the why you can't help, like you can't, what are you gonna do? Tie them to a tree? They're gonna find a way to chew to the chains and unalive someone before they unalive themselves. Imagine that. You know, Slovakia.
and so like even the guns, you know what I'm saying? You take away the guns, they make them 3D now.
They make you know it costs what? It costs $500 to get what? A 3D printing machine. They print all the gun parts and they'll make it, and they still gotta shoot up the school. There's no taking away firearms doesn't work. It's like, right, if you keep saying, right, you're taking criminals off the street to reduce crime. really, you should take away yourself back to the Caucasus Mountains, because you're the one who created that whole criminal lifestyle, that crime, and really, you're not taking away the condition that create crime, which is poverty and oppression. You say take away the guns. Take away the guns. They're gonna stab each other to death. Take away the knives. They're gonna run over each other. Take away the cars. They're gonna punch each other to death. What are you gonna do? Cut their hands off? They're gonna kill themselves with stubs. Salakia. You understand? The thing is that you're not a people that is fit to rule, and your people is realizing that. White people like to say, you know what white people say all the time? Our government failed us. Our leaders failed us. You know how black people leaders failed black people? You know how Latino leaders failed Latinos and natives fell as well? Because we follow after a people that is failing themselves. That's why. That's the only reason why. Our leaders are failing us because we're following a leader who is failing their people. White people say it all the time. They hate their government. The government is failing. The only government that is able to not fail is the Israelite government under Christ. That's it. It's the only righteous government. The Bible says this is the only government that will last forever. Why? Because it will never fail. Salakia one. This devil said he posted a picture of his gun safe. For those who don't know, in Canada, you can't just have gun laying around, you know. This is not the South. You can't just have a pistol under your pillow. You have to have it locked in a safe, right? He took a picture and said, think it's time to take them out for some practice. Well, damn. Look at this. This is another post from that crazy person. I went crazy. See, I'm not, listen. They're saying, I went crazy and burnt my house down my second time trying shrooms, but still have a desire to try alternatives. White people, you're failing your sons and daughters. That's what you're doing. You're creating dysfunctional people. You know why? Because that trauma that they've been through is probably from getting molested. And the thing is that looking at white history, you're okay with that. How do we know? Look up pederasty. Is pederasty in the Greco-Roman Empire is legal pedophilia. This is what white people are all about. Back then, they did not need to have Epstein's Island. They turned the whole continent of America into an Epstein's Island after Christopher Columbus. And before that, the whole Greco-Roman Empire was an Epstein empire. You understand? And this is what you created. Let me pull that up.
And so, like, while you're doing that, the oppressor has so much like value for human life. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said, like, it's time for me to bring them out for practice. And you would think like he's gonna practice on animals or like you understand, like moving targets or so like non-human moving targets or whatnot on a can or something like that, right? Nah, it's target of people. You know what I'm saying? No value for human life. And we could see that all over across the world, all over history. The oppressor has no value, you know what I'm saying? No empathy for human life, man. They're just like you know what I'm saying, the murdering monster. I'm saying the murdering, killing machine. You know what I'm saying? All they want to do like is killing others, man. Unaliving, you know what I'm saying, those next to you, your family members, your neighbors, you know what I'm saying? They want to unalive everything, man. You know what I'm saying? No value, man, for human life. No empathy. And this is why we say, you know what I'm saying, the oppressor is not fit to rule. Because the only thing that's in their mind is how to kill somebody else, how to unalive somebody else, how to cause pain to somebody else, man. It's like
that's right. That's what listen, the Bible is amazing because the Bible tells you that already, that they're a bloodthirsty nation. And I brought that during class, right? You think a shark could smell? A shark has an amazing sense of smell. Smell it, one drop of blood into like gallons of water from kilometers away. The white man is more bloodthirsty than any shark, than any starving shark. You see how starving animals, do you know why there's a lot of human casualties? Because the animals are starving. You know, when a bear is starving coming out of, you know, either going into hibernation or coming out of hibernation, they're the most dangerous. The white man is even more dangerous than any starving apex predator, hibernation or not. And that's a historical fact. But this is what pederasty is, right? Pederasty basically is an ancient, pederasty is an ancient Greece, was a socially acknowledged relationship. So first of all, it says socially acknowledged, meaning it was okay. It was the norm of their society, right? A socially acknowledged relationship between an older male, the Erastes, and a younger male, the Eromenus, usually in his teens. And when you look back into it, it says, what age is pederasty in ancient Greece? Focusing its analysis on mostly Athenian in Athens, but throughout the Greco-Roman Empire was the same. Vase paintings of the 6th and early 5th century, and on a handful of texts from the late 5th and early 4th century, again, Athenian, which really doesn't make it seem it's only in Athens, but we know how the whole empire operated, because the Romans, they don't even consider themselves gay if they rape a slave. It's just a slave, right? Dover depicted the pederastic relationship of Erastes, the older male, aged 20 to 30, and Eromenus, aged 12 to 18, as defined by sexual roles and active, whatever the case is, right? This is white culture, which resulted in individuals not liking themselves and unaliving themselves after unaliving people because they're uncomfortable after living a lifestyle they think they had to adopt based on the trauma they went through, based on the conditioning they went through. It's like, I need to plug in my laptop to charge it. Give me 1 second.
Understand? Like it's a crazy thing, you know what I'm saying? These people like are able to rule the earth, and we're seeing exactly, you know what I'm saying, what is the product of that? You know what I'm saying? Like genocides everywhere, you know what I'm saying, like animals being extinct, you know what I'm saying, pollution, you know what I'm saying, all throughout, you know what I'm saying, the earth. You understand? And this is why the Bible, you know what I'm saying, tells you, so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you understand, to follow these rules, follow these laws, you understand, that God gave us, so we could rule this earth, you understand, in a different way. So it could be a paradise on earth. We could have paradise on earth, you understand? But it takes a righteous rulership.
Kawakan. Salakia. This cat said, I find it addictive. It's hard to not watch violent content. I'm just drawn to it. I don't think much of it. Though to say it doesn't affect me, quote unquote, is likely naive. I'm sure maybe subconsciously it just doesn't feel like a big deal. Well, clearly it was a big deal. What, 10 people died? Your own brother, mother, and a lot of victims that were died or injured in the high school? I think it was a big deal. You see, white people are fascinated with death. If it wasn't for white pop culture of serial killers, like, come on. Like, you see, I don't want last time we played a clip. I watched sometime the crime stories of white people when they unalive someone. There's one that said, some white man walked into his dorm room, right, on the college campus, is seeing his one of his friends or whatnot, the guy he's sharing the dorm with, sawing off the head of another white person. I was like, damn, on the college campus? This is some shit you hear in the horror movies. I was like, what's going on?
So like we had one in Canada as well, and the gay guy Magneto.
Yeah, that's the Canadian Jeffrey Dahmer. I remember because a high school teacher got fired for showing the video of him killing his boyfriend and feeding the boyfriend to the dog. Was that even then? You see, how twisted are you as a high school teacher? You showed a video of Luca Rocco Magnotta to your class. Like, you see, this is the point we're bringing out with pederasty. It's normal for you to indoctrinate the children with sexual deviancy. It's normal for white people, but then it creates individual like the what's the Tumbler Ridge shooter. That's what happens. You are not fit to rule. Nobody is safe around you. You did not help that kid. And knowing as it's in Vancouver, in British Columbia, British Columbia decriminalized all the drugs. And they said, you know that program where they decriminalized all the drugs? They stopped. They realized it was hurting the people more because now the drugs are more accessible. They're not facing any consequences when it comes to like being in possession of any types of drugs. For those who don't know, British Columbia, they were allowed to carry crack, cocaine, literally every single drug that is considered a hard drug. Crack, cocaine, meth, fentanyl. Forget about the weed. They're able to carry fentanyl as long as it's for recreational purpose. They won't get arrested for it and they won't get it confiscated. They realize, well, it was a mistake. No shit, Sherlock. It's a lock in for my language.
And I just want to add something that while you mentioned, you know, saying like the teacher, you know, saying that was showing the video, you know, saying to the student. This is why, you know, saying you have a snuff film. I'm saying for those that don't know, you look it up. You know, saying snuff film right now. This is what we've seen in the Jeffrey Epstein files. Also, like, you know, saying they like to, you know, saying like sexually torture, you know, saying the child. You know, saying put it on video. You know, saying and eating the child and whatnot. You know, saying this is why they have that. You know, saying that's white people culture. You know what I'm saying? This is why it's, you know what I'm saying, this Jeffrey Epstein done it. You see that, you know what I'm saying, over here. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be shocked, like, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of white people have those type of films in their possession. That's why you have movies like Saw, you know what I'm saying, and so on and so on. The hillbillies, you know what I'm saying, monsters and whatnot. That's why you have those type of movies, because that's what they love to do.
Khan. I don't know. I think we could move on from this one. You know, just know that, listen, a change of government must be done. It must be done for the sake of the safety of humankind. We must be in rulership. If not, more instances as this horrible incident will happen. So this nigga Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he used to sniff cocaine off of toilets. Like, when we tell you they're not fit to rule, you cannot make this up. Off of toilet seats? I mean, it's already crazy enough. The son of the former president is a crackhead. The former mayor of Toronto is a crackhead. I see the clip of the French president looking like this man stuffed his nose in the powder. Yeah. Emmanuel Macron. And I'm like, damn. No, he's saying he used to sniff cocaine off of toilet seat. And you know how they just get on podcasts and they just say this? They don't blink. They don't flinch. It's normal. Damn. Hunter Biden said crack is less harmful than alcohol. You can't make this up. It's a lot.
For together for years.
You for almost over 40 years, right?
Yeah, 43 years.
Wow. That's wild. Yeah, that's where we met each other. Yeah, like 7 a.m. meetings above the bank over there. That was
they shut those down during COVID.
I know. That was heartbreaking. That was
one of the most we still did live meetings every day during COVID, but it was kind of a pirate group. And, you know, I mean, for me, I said this when we came in, and I said, I don't care what happens. I'm going to a meeting every day.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not scared of a germ. You know, I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats. And I know this disease will kill me.
Right.
Like if I don't treat it, which means going to meetings every day, it's just bad for my life. So for me, it was survival. We've been in.
You can't make this up. This man said, hell, well, they shut down the meetings during COVID, but we still met up and did cocaine during the meetings. I don't care about a germ. I sniff cocaine off of a toilet seat. And you think these people are fit to rule? These are your bankers, your doctors, your high school teachers. You know, I remember a high school teacher used to smoke weed. You think they're not doing cocaine? This is just a regular white person.
It's a lot. Yeah. For those that know the movie American Psycho, right? When you see, like, you know what I'm saying, those rich people, you know what I'm saying, in you know what I'm saying, like a suit and tie, you know what I'm saying, you think that they are good people and whatnot, they're so intellect. They're in the bathrooms, you know what I'm saying, doing coke. I said, but from doing drug and hey, Lord allow, you know what I'm saying, the cocaine fall on the floor in the bathroom. They're gonna do that cocaine on the floor, snort it from the floor and everything.
Yeah.
So this is
They'll
these are the
lick
people
it
that
from the
we look
floor.
up to as a people. You know what I'm saying? We think because he has a suit and ties, you know what I'm saying, he has money, you know what I'm saying, he might be he's something, he's somebody. They're nobody, man. They're a bunch of drug addicts, you know what I'm saying, child pedophile, rapists, and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So that's who they are.
And you know how we know it's just their nature? It's a regular white person. I remember the what you call it again? Pauline Marois, right? She was the Quebecer political party in Quebec. She wanted to bring back cocaine. She wanted to bring cocaine as a medical antidepressant. She wanted to say we need medical cocaine as an antidepressant. Like, out of all things you could use an antidepressant, why would you want to select cocaine?
Okay.
Like, this is the mind of our oppressor who's ruling right now, and say, you know what? As an antidepressant, we need to prescribe cocaine. Damn, Canada is manufacturing their own cocaine. They're manufacturing their GMO cocaine. So
I believe
Canada
that
has GMO cocaine.
I believe even in New York there's an industry that does that too and sell the byproduct to Coca-Cola.
You can't make this up. This man said he sniffs cocaine off of toilet seats. And you can hear it in his voice that he probably snorts cocaine all day long throughout the day, from early in the morning till late at night. This is the people you want to rule over you, by the way, because you chose them to rule over you. You don't want to separate. You still want to be around them. You know, and weed is no different, which we're going to segue to the next in the next clip. A brother is saying, yeah, you know what led him to smoke crack? Weed. Weed is no different.
It's a gateway drug, like this.
That's exactly what he said. Salakia, damn.
In Jamaica, see weed as a soft drug. For others, it leads to taking harder drugs.
I'm not truly in love with crack. Crack is like my girl. It started from ganja. Ganja is a gateway drug. When you smoke it with the cork, in Jamaica they call it season split. It's like you cook it and you season it.
After trying cocaine and ganja, Orville now only smokes crack to get his fix.
You have some of them, when I cook it, them put rum in it. I get a headache because the rum is a depressant and the coke is a upper. Just like them, I cancel each other out, up and down. This, some people sell it for $4. If them don't know it's $5.
Orville hasn't always been a crack addict. He used to mix with the uptown crowd using powder cocaine.
I never used to smoke coke. I used to sniff coke. And that was the in thing. It made me feel like I belong. Used to be this girl, but she started explaining to me that she cooked it up. And then I tried it. And from that day, I liked it. I was selling crack to support my habit, basically. The profit I would smoke.
Orville is now an addict with a $70 a day habit.
When I take a light, it's like I take a flight. I find out that let out a pleasure in your mind, dopamine, will make you feel good. I don't even want a girl. I just want to wake up, eat, smoke.
Some in Jamaica.
That's sad because this is what oppression does to us. This is what oppression does to us. And even when the brother said it was the in thing to sniff cocaine in the uptown crowd, because it's being like other nations, being like white people. You know, don't think it was just in the US that affected, like, you know, the crack epidemic affected over there. Listen, the islands, it was normal for older generations. You see an older crackhead, it's normal for them. You know, and that's how we grew up, because for them it was normal. It was like smoking a cigarette. And even I'm not saying smoking a cigarette is all right, because it's a sin and it's bad too. But this is how oppression destroyed us. You know, from the weed he went to go on to smoke crack. He didn't say because of sniffing cocaine that he went to smoke crack. He said it started with the weed. You understand? Salaki, other one.
So it's a sad thing, you know what I'm saying? Seeing our brothers, you know what I'm saying, in this situation. You know what I'm saying? But and I know a lot of people will say, well, you know what I'm saying, like he decided to do it, you know what I'm saying, but you don't put in your mind who created that crap, who made the formula, who find the formula, you know what I'm saying, to produce that cocaine into crack and everything. We don't have scientists that does that. You know what I'm saying? The oppressor, you know what I'm saying, is the one that put it in our community. And this is what it does. Why? You know what I'm saying? Because they want to destroy us. You know what I'm saying? The same way, you know what I'm saying, why you have weed and we have drugs in the black community in Canada, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, like you could find drugs, you know what I'm saying, in the reservation. Meanwhile, those, you know what I'm saying, those native Indians, they don't produce that. You know what I'm saying, who's bringing the drugs over there? Maybe, you know what I'm saying, it might be the government. Maybe it's, you know what I'm saying, it's the RCMP. Maybe it's the police, because it doesn't make sense. You're supposed to, you know what I'm saying, combat drugs, but the more you combat drugs, the more, you know what I'm saying, money you have to combat drugs. The more money, seems like the more money they give the police, you know what I'm saying, or those organizations, you know what I'm saying, to combat crimes and whatnot, we see the more crimes. You understand? Everything is failing us, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is why coming back to our roots, coming back to our knowledge, man, is the only thing that we have in this life, man.
Karawakan. The only thing is to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, where you'll find comfort, where you won't have to smoke crack, you won't have to smoke weed, you won't have to smoke cigarettes. You'll find comfort too. You'll find hope, like we brought up at the beginning. Knowing who we are and that we're such a great nation, we're the greatest, and we're supposed to be on top. And the only way to be on top is to come back to our laws, to come back to our identity, to our laws, to statutes and commandments. And we be able to rule the planet Earth as God told us that we would. You understand? In the kingdom, there will not be one crackhead.
Right.
Nor white, nor black, nor Chinese, nor African or Arab. There will not be a one drug addict. There's only a drug addict right now. Why? Because our oppressor is not fit to rule. Salaki. Which segues to the other thing, like Officer Adiyar brought out, you know, to prevent all these tragedies from happening, maybe white people should be profiled. Hey, shalom, sis. Yahweh Shemala Thab, Hashem Yahweh Shai, sis Nazamana, always in the building with us. The Rib Officer Matabar, you understand, in Louisiana, in New Orleans. Let me share this. This is the proof. White people should be profiled. Listen, white people should be profiled, that it should be the norm. And this clip will let you know how it should be normal to profile white people, and how white privilege and that slave mentality to think that they are a harmless nation because of the indoctrination we received. This clip will show you, prove to you, that you should profile white people. You should not feel bad about it.
I saw the white boy walk in, and then like my natural human reaction and instinct was like, shooter, shooter. And everyone was looking at me crazy. Nobody was paying attention. And then my cousin was next to me, so I throw him on the ground. And then that's when he realized, oh, it's not a prank. I was like, why would I even prank like that? Who does that, right? And then nobody listened to me until they started hearing the shooting. Pop, 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 pop. So then we started, running. And then it got to a point where we got to the corner, and there was no exit at the corner. And then there was like, I remember there was like a lady, Asian lady, trying to hand me her kid. So I was like, what? I was like I'm trying to like not get shot and not die. I'm like kicking the window. I kicked it at least 3 times, like crazy kicks. I used to play soccer, so I could kick pretty hard. Nothing was working. I look around, I pick up the bowling ball, I like yank it, it finally breaks. I tackle it on some football, SHIT. And I don't really like football. But then as soon as that happens, everyone starts getting out that window.
So that hole from a bowling ball.
Yeah. Okay. I hope I don't get charged for it. I'm just the Mexican Spider-Man.
Shout out to the Mexican Spider-Man. Listen, you know what he proved? He proved the point that white people should be profiled, should not feel bad about it. He did. That was his natural instinct to profile the white boy. He said, "Shooter." No, people look at him like he's crazy. I don't even say his Mexican spider sense, alerted him. No, his Issacharite sense alerted him. You understand? Like, damn, Esau, deaf, run, unaliving. Everything in his spirit was like, yo, listen, this white boy is the shooter. He said, people looking at him like, no, man, you bugging. What do you mean? Even to think as far as it was a prank. Come to find out, it wasn't. He was right to profile the white boy. You are not wrong for profiling white people. Profiling white people would prevent that terrible tragedy that happened in British Columbia. It would prevent any of the victims and the perpetrator to losing their own life. It only had to be profiled. That's it. He profiled the white boy and he saved lives. So much so that that Asian lady tried to hand him her child. Blacks, Latinos, and Natives are the natural superheroes of the planet.
That's right.
This is proof right here. You understand? Salak, the other one.
And what he did was excellent, man. That's one West spirit right now. You know what I'm saying? Somebody give that brother a flyer.
Damn right.
Cool, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Let me bring it a bit further. We see in South America nowadays, you know what I'm saying? You see a lot of Jewish people being, you know what I'm saying, like arrested over like sex rings, sex trafficking rings and whatnot. You seeing Jewish people, you know what I'm saying, like putting fires in the forest, in the mountains and everything. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, if they were profiled, you know what I'm saying, and say, nah, you're not coming into my country, you wouldn't see these things. The same thing with the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? Why there's drug over there? Why there's weed? Why there's gun from the military? You know what I'm saying? The U.S. military over there. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't profile white people enough. We think they come on vacation and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, they're all into, you know what I'm saying, the mountains, seeking where there's the oil, where there's the, you know what I'm saying, the gold and everything, and suck your country dry and leave. You know what I'm saying? They leave you, you know what I'm saying, with destruction, with, you know what I'm saying, tools of destruction. You feel it, you know what I'm saying? They're done crush your economy. Then after that, they give you the guns and drugs. You know what I'm saying? Why these things are happening to us? Because we don't profile them enough. You know what I'm saying? And even in our community, you know what I'm saying, just like China, we see Chinatown everywhere. Well, once we have like a righteous rulership in our community, you see a white man, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna be like exactly that brother. Shooter. And we're gonna profile that, you know what I'm saying, that person, you know what I'm saying, and say, nah, what you doing over here? Do you have guns? Do you know what I'm saying? What's your background? Where do you come from? You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what we need to do with the oppressor, man. Because why? Because we will be safe.
And Salaki, you know what, you know what I realized? Nobody feels bad about profiling anyone else but the white man. They profile East Indians all the time. They profile the Asians all the time. They look at Arab people and Muslims and profile them all the time. They look at us, Latinos and Native, and profile us all the time. Why should we feel bad about profiling white people? They profile everybody else. Like, it's not wrong to profile someone who's going to be actually a perpetrator. That's what he did. He saved lives. You right people, the problem is this, right? You profile people just because you hate, just to hate. Profile black people and incarcerate all the black people just to what? You know what? Profiling black people, Latinos, Natives, makes you lose money because you have to exonerate them and then you have to pay millions for falsely arresting them. White people hate someone messing with their money. But guess what? White people mess with white people money when they do so. You're the problem. The economy is bad because you profile blacks, Latinos, and Native who are innocent. ICE is deporting all the non-criminals that they claim they would arrest because they're criminals. You go to Home Depot looking for criminal immigrants, you're arresting blue-collar people. You're arresting nurses. You're arresting children. Then you complain that we're racist because we say you should be profiled. You're profiling us all the time. What do you mean? Aren't you not racist then? If we're racist because we say you should be profiled to stop school shootings, doesn't that make you racist? When you arrest us for what? To stop the drug flow in the city? When the Montreal port is owned by Italians, but you're not profiling Italians though? There's The Jewish mafia, are you out here patrolling Jewish neighborhoods and profiling them?
Yeah, the
you were
police.
hand in hand with them.
Yeah.
The Russian mob, the West End Irish mob. They have the whole, this time they have what you call Arab power. Why are we the one that mostly profiled? You understand? For what? To be exonerated? And then the city loses money, the government loses money. You're going to blame, and you know what you're going to do? Well, maybe if the Haitians would not come over here, they will not, take advantage of the government, and we would have more money for white people. Maybe white people will have more money for white people if they did not have to pay us for compensating for falsely arresting us. That's all you have to do. It's to not profile us for no reason. And then the city won't have to give us a payout. Then all that money that you give us as a payout, you could keep it for your white children. If you don't unalive them, that is. If you don't send them to the Epstein's Islands, that is. You understand? Salaki.
It's not wrong to profile the people, the nation of people that's known for killing you. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? You think like you said, like the rabbit, you know what I'm saying, is not gonna profile the tiger. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine that, how stupid that is.
You think the rabbit is gonna be like, oh no, that's a good tiger. That's my friend. You know what I'm saying? We got to profile the people here that put us in this condition, that put us in slavery and captivity. It is only right. Like,
it's only right. Salaki. For the next clip.
Sont les taureaux, on est le mouchoir rouge. À la seconde qu'ils nous voient, c'est comme ils ont les olières, puis bon, on se fait attaquer automatiquement.
Des citoyens de Montréal-Nord ont toujours une mauvaise opinion de la police. Faut dire que l'affaire George Floyd, la manifestation de dimanche à Montréal et la sortie du commandant Patrice Vilséus du SPVM, qui exhorte ses collègues à s'engager dans la lutte contre le racisme et le profilage racial, ne laisse personne indifférent ici, particulièrement sur la rue Pascal, où ces jeunes hommes n'hésitent pas à partager des mésaventures qu'ils disent avoir vécues avec la police.
Vous nous posez la question à nous, mais c'est eux autres le problème.
On me fait arrêter bien normal, puis on me craque les doigts pour rien, parce que je suis noir.
Quand ils recherchent un autre noir, on va dire, ils vont chercher, on va dire, Martin. Mais ils savent qu'on n'est pas Martin. Mais pourtant, ils vont dire, hey, bouge pas, je veux t'identifier, je veux savoir si t'es Martin.
Chose certaine, la missive du commandant Vilséus amène une prise de conscience qui était déjà amorcée, nous dit le SPVM, qui accueille favorablement les propos du commandant d'origine haïtienne.
On l'accueille, en fait, comme quelqu'un qui veut nourrir, en fait, la réflexion qui est déjà amorcée depuis longtemps au SPVM.
Par ailleurs, on a obtenu des chiffres de la Commission des droits de la personne. Les plaintes de citoyens pour profilage contre des policiers partout au Québec sont en hausse. Pour l'année 2017-2018, 38 dossiers ouverts. 2018-2019, 46 dossiers ouverts. Et pour l'année dernière, 76 dossiers ouverts.
Bien que la situation des États-Unis soit très différente de celle du Canada et du Québec et même de Montréal, il faut quand même réaliser qu'il y a de la discrimination auprès de certaines communautés, dont les personnes racisées.
Yves, le comité. This is diabolical. So basically, for people to understand, right, there's a lot of racism in Montreal, especially at the hands of the police. You understand? And it's that area was obviously out of our zone, but it's even worse also in the Benjamin zone. Why? Because we don't even speak French. For those who don't speak French, right? The thing is this: there is more and more racism throughout the years. And that's what we're talking about. Why are you profiling us? You're looking for some man that names like a white boy, and then you're profiling all the black people for no goddamn reason. You understand? It gave me a flashback. I remember I got profiled in downtown. I looked like the description of a black man that shot a gun somewhere in downtown in Montreal a couple of years ago. Apparently, I fitted the description. Now, after the sergeant came, they said, well, the description of the black man we're looking for is dressed all in black. My clothes was anything but all in black. I was like, well, damn. That is diabolical. You understand? And this is how it is everywhere. And that was the previous mayor of Montreal, that stupid white woman. She put up bike lanes throughout the city. She said, well, the situation is different than the United States. You know, it's not as racist. It's absolutely as racist.
Yeah, I was profiled downtown too. Like, you know what I'm saying, that somebody just, you know what I'm saying, robbed the store. I'm over there walking with pants and fringes. So I'm like, okay, the description is a black man with military pants and with fringes. She like, yeah. I'm like, okay, no sweat. Stop
fucking lying. Stop.
You You know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, I wanted to add this also. Meanwhile, it is known fact that there's white people in Montreal North, the same neighborhood like when you're saying you see in the video, which is my neighborhood where I live. You know what I'm saying? Rue Pascal is right down there. You know what I'm saying? So it is known fact that there's white people in this community that are selling drugs. It's a known fact.
Right.
Meanwhile, those white people, I've seen the police talk to them like they are good citizens. They're not being, you know what I'm saying, like profile. Meanwhile, they have drugs in their house, selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, like they said, les va-et-vient exactement dans leur maison. You know what I'm saying? So you know where there's drug that's being sold. Meanwhile, police talk to them like they are good citizens. And the police know for a fact that they sell drugs. So like,
the police works with the mafia and the bikers and the Irish. The police works with them. And the judges and the juries, the police works with them. We are probably one of the most corrupted cities in Canada, you know. And really, here's the craziest part about this clip. You had I think he's white or an Ishmaelite Arab police officer. He's saying, well, that Haitian chief of police over there, he's feeding into an issue that we already heard. What do you mean he's feeding into an issue we already heard? The issue is still there. It's not resolved. It's probably even worse because systemic racism is still there. Racial profiling is still there. You know, all these Levite brothers are complaining like, yo, why are we even racially profiled? We're not doing anything. It's not like, because people think, right, only criminals complain. If you're a criminal, you get arrested by the police committing a crime, you can't complain because you're committing a crime. But the police is profiling just brothers, just being outside, just walking. And anyone. You understand? Really anyone. Like it's summer. You're going to see people outside in summer. Right there by the shop where their brothers are hanging out, you know, where Officer Adier lives at. It's a pizza store. People line up to get some pizza. They line up to get a pizza. It's actually a community center.
Just right there. Just that
right
where
they're hanging out. They're having barbecues and everything. So you can't say, we just suspect them of committing crime or criminal activities. Well, we don't see you profiling the Italians like that. Why don't you profile white people? Like Montreal is known for having the biker gangs up until like what, the early 2000s? Why don't you profile white people who might be linked to bikers? You understand? You go profile white people. White people should profile white people. They're not, we know you're not going to though, but that's what you should do if you truly are not racist. If it's about finding out who might be linked to a criminal, just because you're black doesn't mean we're linked to criminals. But we know one thing though, historically speaking, you are a genocidal maniac.
Right.
You should profile yourself. Isn't what do they call that? What is it? Gaslighting? Isn't it called the pot? Calling the kettle black or something like that? Imagine that. Now, historically speaking, you're a genocidal maniac. Epstein's Island is what, 95% Caucasian? Epstein said he didn't even want the white girls. Imagine that.
The black girls.
He said he didn't want no black girls. Salakia. Imagine that. He only wanted little white girls. And now you're looking into the homes of the Haitians. Yeah, they're prostituting the little white girls. Epstein has all the little white girls. Why don't you look into the Jewish community? Why don't you look into the Russians?
So like Trump said grab them by the pussy.
That's what, damn. Imagine that. Go look into the German, Trump. Go do that. Because clearly they're open with it. They're telling you that they're the criminals. But yet, just because you are a racist monster that is full of hate with no justification, that's why you profile us. You don't need a reason to profile us. You just don't like us. And for everybody who said, well, you're racist, you don't like white people because they're white. We don't care about white people because they're white. The proof is Bob Marley is a melanated white man. Lenny Kravitz is a melanated white man. It's about the crime these people commit. It's about the treatment that we receive at their hands. That's why we don't want to, we don't want to be around them. Nobody wants to be around them. The oxygen don't want to be around them. You understand? The nature don't. Listen, God hates the white man in the Bible, right? Romans 9:13. The Most High hates the white man so much, he made them allergic to the elements. The sun hates the white man. Are you going to say the sun is racist too? Just because you're white? Go file a complaint to the Most High about it. You understand? In the meantime, maybe we're going to tell you right now, as we told you multiple times, we're going to tell you again, because another tragedy is going to happen, which is going to show that you should be profiled, white people. This is how you would have prevented that mass shooting over there in Tumbler Ridge in British Columbia. You understand? You would have prevented Luca Rocco Magnotta, who was of that community, of that nation. You would have profiled him. Maybe that Asian guy would not have ended up dead. Maybe Luca Rocco Magnotta would not have been able to chop him up and send body parts to the government, because that's what he did.
That's crazy.
We say like it's a horror movie. White people live that horror movie real life. Now you see black people always talking about all types of lifestyle they live in, the music and the movies. It's made up. Most of the time, 95% of the time, they don't live the lifestyle they're talking about in the music. They don't live the lifestyle they see in the movies. White people, though, it's a fact.
And you know what I was thinking, Priest? You know what I'm saying? Why you mentioned that, right? You know how the Epstein files coming out, like, you know what I'm saying, they're showing like they are eating people. You know what I'm saying? So it makes me wonder, like, you know what I'm saying, like, if, you know what I'm saying, what type of party did Magneto, I like to call him Magneto, so like did Magneto, did he, like, you know what I'm saying, go to a party like Jeffrey Epstein and seen them eating people and just did the same thing? Because why would he send, like, you know what I'm saying, body part to the government unless if he knows like they're eating people as well?
Who knows?
You know what I'm saying? It's been something in my mind, like, why would he send like those bodies to the government, like, you know what I'm saying? So that means he probably know the government eating people. He probably was there too in one of these parties. Who knows?
Hey, you know what, Otto? They're so racist, because if you mention that, they're gonna say, well, you guys had Diddy, you guys had R. Kelly. We're not protecting these brothers. They did something wrong. That will be addressed. But mind you now, Epstein is making Diddy and R. Kelly look like that didn't even it looks like it was made up. Especially considering the fact that they follow after the white man. Now, guess who made Epstein Islands look like, you know, insignificant? The French, the Dutch, the Spaniards, the British, the Portuguese turned the whole American continent and the Caribbean islands into Epstein Island. They made the Epstein hemisphere. It's a lot.
That's why you could see their culture. Columbus came in America, and he had Epstein Island all over, you know what I'm saying, the Caribbean. You know,
good night. It's a lucky other one. The Spanish crown told Columbus he's raping too much. Imagine that. He said, that's enough. He kept doing it. They said, you're doing too much. Babash, you're doing too much. That's what they told him.
That's what that, you know what I'm saying, you see, is their culture. They were eating people. They were eating the Tainos. You know what I'm saying? They were unaliving them. You know what I'm saying? They were target practice. Just like, you know what I'm saying, like the devil, you know what I'm saying, say it's time to bring out the guns for practice. They used to practice, you know what I'm saying, on the Tainos, on the Native Indian, and the, you know what I'm saying, the Caribbean. You know it's to do the same thing, you know what I'm saying? So it is their mentality, it is their culture, it is the lack of empathy for human life, for human flesh, and it is their lust to kill, their lust to see something suffer. This is who they are. They love to see somebody else suffer. This is why, you know what I'm saying, they grow up doing what? They start killing, you know what I'm saying, squirrels. They start killing rats. They start killing, you know what I'm saying, little animals until, you know what I'm saying, that escalate. You know what I'm saying? They're like, well, I want to feel more urge to kill something else, something bigger. That's why they go in the forest. You know what I'm saying? They're not, it's not because they're hungry. You know what I'm saying? They go and kill a lion, they go kill an animal and bring the trophy home, bring the head home like it's a trophy. Why? Because they always feel that urge, that lust to kill, to unalive something, because the oppressor has no compassion for human life or for life in general.
Right. And you just reminded me of something. I had tagged you in the post. I need to find that again, right? The white man basically said, if you think you're going to go to war against white people, Look at me right now. I'm sitting up in a tree on a tree stand just for hours.
Okay.
My brother's a couple of 100 yards away, sitting in the same. Oh, I have it right here. Good night. So, like, 1 second. Let me share the screen. This is the white man, right? This is the white man right here.
You know, if you wanted to invade our country and you were thinking about taking it over, I'm hanging 20 foot up in a tree right now with a bow, and my brother's like 250 yards that way doing the same thing just for fun. And there's like 50 million others that do the same thing just for fun. They take off work to do this. So I would do it if I were.
White man telling you, listen, we're natural born killers. Like they practice, you know, them hunting for fun. That's what they practice for fun. They get off of work. You know, that's their boys' trip. They be sodomites in the forest, hanging in the trees, getting ready to unalive. You understand? Which get them excited. This release what is it again? Serotonin, I think. It's a chemical in your brain. It releases serotonin. You're excited now. You're getting ready to kill. They do it for fun. The white man kills for fun. You see how, you know, white men today, they teach you, you know, you go to fish, that catch and release practice, or, you know, hunting for the respect of the animal. That moral aspect they try to portray, they learned that from the natives. They learned that from the Gadites. There is no moral aspect when it comes to killing for the white man.
Mm-hmm.
They do it for fun. They burn ants for fun. They kill squirrels and rats and other rodents for fun. That's why. It's fun. It's like a game for them. You understand? That's what, yeah, they call it big game hunting, small game. It's fun. For the natives, it was, you know, it's a cultural thing. You hunt the caribou, the deer, you know, you feed the village, you feed everybody. They do it for fun.
That's what,
and then they get excited and they have buck fever and then strip naked in the woods because they killed a female doe. Probably gonna assault that dead body afterwards. Good night, Salaki.
Salaki. That's why in the Jeffrey Epstein file, you have Hillary Clinton, like you're saying, releasing the children in the wild and just shooting them.
All right, good night. You just reminded me of this. Let me pull this up, right?
You can't. You may hunt.
This is a movie, but that's reality.
That's what the rich people do.
Sir, how about a glass of champagne?
Perfect.
What on who's awake?
Put him in the back with the rest.
Who's in the shadows? Who's ready to play? Are we the hunter?
What is all of this?
Or are we the prey?
Oh, I can't use that.
Just point and shoot.
Everybody get down!
I know what this is. It's Manorgate. Every year, these rich elites kidnap a bunch of normal folks like us. Where'd they get you from? Wyoming.
Orlando.
Mississippi.
This is a real thing. You're hunting human beings for sport.
Then you're not human beings.
Help you?
What state is this?
Most people know where they are.
All right, most people.
You're in the glorious state of Arkansas, sweetheart. Is there anything else I can do?
How'd you know she was lying?
Because everyone is lying.
Yeah, listen, y'all can watch the movie on your own time. This, you know, the purge is real life. That's the hunt is real life. That happens. They're describing this in the Epstein files, apparently. You You know, white people really, when they make movies about themselves, it's real life. Like they made movies about Leatherface. Leatherface existed. His name is Ed Gein. Is a serial killer. He used to cut. Listen, you think we're making this up? Let me see if I can find him, right? Ed Gein is Leatherface. Ed Gein, a Wisconsin murderer and grave robber, created masks from the skin of corpses he exhumed in the 1950s. The horrific detail directly inspired the character of Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You see, they make movies about them. These horror movies is about them and the horrors they commit. It's not made up.
So like
they talk about what's his name again? The killer clown. What's his name? There is a killer clown. His name is John Wayne Gacy. He's a pedophile. He used to lure little boys, molest them, and kill them. You understand?
So like just like that Leatherface, like to come back with Hillary Clinton again, you know what I'm saying? There's a rumor about, you know what I'm saying, like the videos of her, you know what I'm saying, killing a child and ripping her face off and putting the face on her.
Good night.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's people that supposedly seen the video in New York, like, you know what I'm saying, like it come from like the email, like, you know what I'm saying, like that was found like Anthony Weiner laptop and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Some people seen the video and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So this is what they do. Like these are the, like I said, this is their nature. This is what rich white people do. You know what I'm saying? You give white people enough money, just like we seen the last time. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna do, like, you know what I'm saying, cocaine and have sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, with everybody, like all the whores, all the prostitute. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna unalive, you know what I'm saying, as much people that he can.
Listen, if you find out that these horror movies is just really white people just living their reality. The killer clown, John Wayne Gacy, that's him right here. That's the killer clown. You understand? This is Ed Gein. And listen, good night. Let me see. This is the real Ed Gein, right? The black and white picture. That's Ed Gein. That's Leatherface. He's the one who inspired Leatherface in the Texas Chain Massacre. You can't make this up. There's a study that they realized the United States has, they're number one they have the most serial killers on the planet. Yeah, we've seen the white man. We played it last clip last week. The white man is playing Russian roulette during a TV interview with a real reporter. Russian roulette, pointing in the revolver at him, and then he pulled the trigger, pointing it at her. It didn't go off, but he didn't think about whether it was going off or not. He didn't care. Either he was gonna die, she was gonna die, or neither of them were gonna die. Do I still have the clip? You can't. Damn. You really can't make this up. It's not like we're telling you something, you know, being biased or giving your opinion. No, that's them, and they're showing you them how they operate.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a slug in this gun. You're going to take my word for it, but there's a slug in this gun. Well, I want one shot to my head, one shot to Renee's. Are you ready, Renee? You don't want to play. Bad luck.
You see, hear him laughing and think that's diabolical.
So like you wouldn't have the same laugh if he on the live.
Yeah,
you would have the same laugh. So like
if she would have got on a live, he would have laughed regardless.
God.
You understand? And here's the thing. He's not in America. He's not in Canada. He's in Australia. Well, it doesn't matter. Have you ever heard about Jack the Ripper? Jack the Ripper was a British serial killer. You understand? He was ripping people's guts out or something like that? Jack the Ripper was a British serial killer. What's his name? Another guy, Merin. Jacques Merin. There's a movie about it. Y'all go watch that movie. Right? He was public enemy number 1 in France. And he came to Canada, robbing Canada. He robbed banks in the US. Considered public enemy number 1. I ain't gonna hold you. The movie's good. It's kind of sugar-coated, but the movie is wild, though. Hey, you know. But that's them. That's them. Yeah. They're criminals. They have a bloodlust. Look at him right here. Listen, this man, that's the French Bonnie and Clyde. You see the picture with multiple pictures? That's him. He had to disguise himself. Like, you can't make this up. That's real. Even my mom used to tell me, damn, they used to be when she was younger and she heard about you know, on the news, the public enemy number one. This man traveled to Canada, to the US. You hear about the real, this is, Bonnie and Clyde had nothing on Jack Mirin. I'm telling you right now. But it's irrelevant. The point is that's their natural lifestyle. The Bible says they are a vagabond. You can't make this up. They're all they do. He said they kill for sport. It's a sport. It's like playing football. It's like a basketball game. Let the best man win, for lack of better words. That's how they operate. They didn't have to go to war in Afghanistan. They just wanted to kill. So they made up a story. They have weapons of mass destruction, which they never found till this day. They ended up losing the war. That's why they're mad, because they lost the war after 20 years. All that killing to amount to nothing. If you hear them about going to war, they're excited to go to war. They're going to shoot some stuff up. And, it's therapeutic for them to unalive something. It doesn't matter if it's a tree. It doesn't matter if it's the ozone layer. It's an animal. It's the waterways. It don't matter. Once they take the life from something, it's a relief for them. Salakia.
And what you said, like, is exactly that. I'm saying? Like, just today, this morning, I was watching a video, I'm saying, coming from the Epstein file as well, where there's a CEO, I'm saying, one of these billionaire CEO, I'm saying, like, that's texting Epstein saying, I'm in Afghanistan right now, and such gave me like two choppers and whatnot, I'm saying? So I'm gonna go for the boys, I'm saying, the little African boys with the toys, I'm saying? So, I'm saying, they've been unaliving like children over there as well. Same thing like you see in Gaza, killing, I'm saying, like those IDF shooting, I'm saying, random kids and whatnot. They were doing that in Afghanistan as well. You understand? And sometimes they will invite those rich billionaires, you understand, in those war conflict, just to have an experience of that bloodlust, you understand, of that killing. You understand? So I seen that this morning, you understand. So a lot of CEOs, you understand, like that are in the Jeffrey Epstein file, like, you understand, they mentioned about them killing, it mentioned them about killing others, like children in other islands, and, you understand, war affected zones and whatnot.
Khan, listen, you should be profiled. And don't think it's just white men that should be profiled. You understand? White women should be profiled too. Look at this thing. I stumbled on this, right? 25-year-old woman rapes 5 boys, 12 to 15, 30 times. Oh, y'all think this is the lady white girl that is, harmless?
She looked like Trump's daughter.
She looked like. Listen, white women are no better than white men. Probably even more dangerous. Why? Because they represent innocence.
So like just the other day, there's a story where there's one of them that was injecting feces into the children's IVs.
Dang! I seen this. Good night. Let me see if I could pull this up. I seen this. I was like, yo, this is damn. Like, sometimes you just ask yourself, what's wrong with white people? Like, even to the point where it's even a hard question. It's like, yo, do you even have to question? Like, you understand, like, oh, yeah, it's how they operate. But what do you mean how they operate? There's no words to describe that. I remember the story was a couple years, like last year, 2 years ago in Louisiana. I think she just got convicted. She laced, I got the article right here. She laced cupcakes with her husband's sperm and gave it to kids in school. Damn, they removed the article. They removed the article of the white woman that laced the kid's IV with feces. But come on, that's diabolical. Let me see if I can find the article. That's crazy.
Like, what brings somebody to do such a thing? You're supposed to help those children, and next thing you know, the best thing that comes in their mind is to lace their IV with fecal matter. Like, like these people, are not the people. Like, they're like animals. They're like, like they're like the worst thing that could be on the earth. And now it's understanding now when in Romans, when Paul is saying, do God has a right, to do the potter I'm paraphrasing, do the potter has the right to create a vessel for glory and the vessel for destruction. Now we understand like why this, you know what I'm saying, in Malachi chapter 1 verse 4, you know what I'm saying, where God says they're gonna be destroyed and they are the border of wickedness. You know what I'm saying? Then you can't go so far, you know what I'm saying, they're white people. White people will be like the best criminals, the best unalive, and the most demonic people on the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
right.
if white people is paying you to hurt your own people, man, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like let's say as a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you know what I'm saying, a white man, you know what I'm saying, like tells you, you know what I'm saying, I'll give you such and such money, you know what I'm saying, to hurt another black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Come and denounce that them devil in the UPK. Denounce him. You know what I'm saying? Don't fear for your life. They're not gonna unalive you, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The Most High will protect you, you know what I'm saying, under you know what I'm saying, under his arms. You know what I'm saying? Come and say, you know what I'm saying, they pay me such and such person, pay me to, you know what I'm saying, unalive this, hurt this, because don't be like them. We are better, you know what I'm saying? Expose them how you know what I'm saying, diabolical that they are. Don't join them in their, you know what I'm saying, their own, you know what I'm saying, like fuckery, Salakia.
I just find the clip.
Is in the Franklin County Jail tonight on very disturbing charges of child abuse. Prosecutors say it happened while the child was being treated at Nationwide Children's Hospital. Ronnie Dunnigan is here, and Rodney, some of these details are very hard to hear.
Yeah, Jessica, they certainly are. Tiffany Loser appeared in a Franklin County courtroom today for the first time. She's charged with endangering children, torture, and cruelty abuse. Now, according to prosecutors, the child was admitted to Nationwide Children's Hospital on February 6th. The child was being treated for suspected abuse. 2 days later, surveillance video caught Loser entering a hospital bathroom with a specimen cup. Prosecutors claim that she had a cup filled with fecal matter, mixed it with liquid, and injected it into the child's IV using a syringe. Now, a judge set her bond at $250,000. If she gets out, she cannot have any contact with the victim or any other kids. It also says that she must comply with the Lucas County Children's Services. We reached out to that agency to get more information about their interactions with her. Now, Loser will be back in court next week. We will keep you posted on exactly what happens.
Listen, I don't know where to start. Like, you had the idea to just dig in the toilet for feces, and then in your mind you start to say, you know what, I'm gonna put it in a children's IV. The thing is that we would know how to deal with these people if we understood that we are the Israelites and that the Bible is our record, because the Bible says this, Hebrews chapter 12 verse 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. That's Esau's sister right here. That's her. That's Esau's daughter right here. That's your little white girl that's innocent. She doesn't have the face to harm people. That's the white doll that they do in the white doll test that cannot hurt anyone. According to history and as per their actions, they hurt everyone, even themselves. What possessed you to dig some feces and put in a child's IV? Good night, Salak, y'all.
Honestly, imagine, like I'm saying, this makes you think, like I'm saying, like, am I bringing my child for, like, when I bring my child in the hospital, am I gonna fall on such a, you know, saying, the demon? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why we need our own everything. We need our own industry. We need our own hospitals. You know what I'm saying? And the more that you about to see, like, those Edomites, those oppressive, you know what I'm saying, in the full state, the more you're gonna think about, you know what I'm saying, like, the I.S.U.P.K is right. We need to gather together, build together, have our own community, be safe, because the life is about to be worse and worse. Don't be shocked if you start hearing, you know what I'm saying, like, somebody brought their kids to the hospital, the kids, you know what I'm saying, they just ate the kid. I'm saying, don't be shocked when you start hearing the news like that, because why? This is their nature. This is who they are. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of demon that comes over them, but you know what I'm saying, like you said, Preach, like, what brings you, you know what I'm saying, in the mindset, like, I'm gonna put, you know what I'm saying, go in the bathroom, take the feces, mix it with liquid, and after that, just put it in the syringe. God, good night. And these are the same people that will be, you know what I'm saying, in the Tim Horton, cooking your food. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the same one, you know what I'm saying, in McDonald's, cooking your food. It's a lot.
And you know what, I don't want the crazy thing. The crazy part is this, right? Crazy part is we decided to give up our own hospitals and integrate with these people. The reason why such thing could happen to our children is because of integration. Integration caused this. You understand? Integration, or because of integration, your children are not safe in the hospital because they're at risk of being poisoned with feces in their IV by a white woman. Why? Because you decided to integrate black people into white hospitals as opposed to remaining segregated and have black people into black hospitals where they're not at risk as having their children poisoned with feces in their IVs. That's why you decided to integrate with these people. Like, imagine now you want to complain about it, but you ask for this. You ask to swim in the same swimming pool as these people who pretty much bathe in the swimming pool because they don't bathe at home. They don't wash the creases. They don't use wash rags. You decided to share the same water fountain as the people who lick their dogs in the mouth. That's you. Now, if there's a virus transmitted through water fountains, come to find out it comes from a dog, you can't complain about it. You asked for integration. And you still, till this day, want to fight for integration and to prove that white people are not as evil as they are portrayed to be. We're not portraying them to be evil. They're doing it themselves.
Okay.
Leatherface Texas Chain Massacre was based on a real white man who was making Leatherface masks with leather that he made from white people's skin. It's a real life story. The killer clown, it was really a killer clown. He was unaliving little boys that he was molesting. That's white people doing white people stuff.
Okay.
They portray themselves as the evil person. Whether they like it or not, they doing it inadvertently because it's just natural for them. You see how it's natural for us to be compassionate? It's natural for them to be evil and disgusting.
Okay.
Stop trying to save white people from their wickedness. It's like, are you trying to make a lion vegan? Are you trying to force a horse to eat some meat? Are you stupid? Salakia. But you requested integration. And now you have to complain, well, my black child, a Latino child, might be a risk that a white woman goes to take a dump, put her hand down there. Like, even picturing it is crazy. Like, you really pick up your feces from the toilet, you know, and put it in a syringe.
And so, like, the next thing she'll make your burgers at Tim Hortons.
Yeah, she'll
make your coffee at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, eat a shit burger. You're like, it tastes funny. It's a lot.
I mean, like, you know, this is why what we're doing is such an amazing thing, like for our brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Because not only we giving you what makes you a nation, your laws, your culture, your traditions, your language, but we showing you the type of brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, the love we could have with one another. And there's no place on earth that you could see the type of brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, or sisterhood, you know what I'm saying, that you see in the UPK. There's no place on earth, there's no organization, no church, no other, you know what I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, like club, you know what I'm saying, membership. You could go and find the type of love that we have for one another in the UPK. This is something that only the UPK has on this earth. So, like,
yeah, you know what, other one, before we almost end it, right? Because we're running short on time. White people really don't give a damn.
Okay.
We've seen it throughout the show. We've seen throughout history. I'm going to show another clip where white people really do not care. This man dressed up as Hitler and was driving through Germany. And you might think he get bad reactions. He got the total opposite. Come on, you can't make
Salakia, I wouldn't be shocked if he's not Jewish. Salakia.
Hey, Hitler was Jewish, wasn't he? You see, you can't make this up. Like, this man, listen, you address someone right now as Hitler parading throughout America, I guarantee you they don't give a damn. In Canada, The swastika is not even considered a Nazi symbol no more. He could do it in Canada. It's not a Nazi symbol no more. It's the symbol of what they call it again, the Hindus or whatnot. You understand? They don't care. Don't care if it's offensive. Don't care if they offend you. They're proud to live their truth. That's what it is. They could finally live. It's like electing Donald Trump, especially for a second term, an openly racist man, right? Who is a sexual deviant and a criminal, a convict, who was a felon. Right? You know what? It was a rippling message sent to white people throughout the globe that they could finally live their truth in the open. That's what it did. That's it. Right? So like the other one.
That was it on my border. Like, I wouldn't be shocked like if this good dude is not a Jewish guy personating, like, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. Because Jewish people, you know what I'm saying, like watching Jewish people, they will do things like that. You know what I'm saying? They'll do things like that, then after that call it anti-Semitism or just for the fun of it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Just like we see, like, so the countless Jewish, you know what I'm saying, news story where they put swastika. They're the one putting swastika in front of the synagogues and everything. It's not Arab, it's not other white people, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, they're still white, but it's Jewish people doing that.
Salakia. One more before we go on to our segue into our episode of white peopling. Talking about Jewish people, right? This what's his name? KISS co-founder Gene Simmons blast Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for honoring hip hop. He said, "I don't come from the ghetto. It doesn't speak my language." And you know what's amazing with that? Not only did rock and roll come from black people, right? But Gene Simmons is an Israeli Jewish person. What is the ghetto according to the definition of the ghetto? He said he does not associate with that. You understand? Isn't the ghetto, historically speaking, a city or a section of a city made for the Jews?
Who's gone?
So are you trying to tell us that Israelis are not the Jews? Shalom. Salaki, I don't want. But
and just like you say, Salaki, just like you say, that them oppressor, that them devil, you know what I'm saying, knows that, you know what I'm saying, like, well, I know he knows, but he's not gonna say it, but you know what I'm saying, like, the rock music come from black people, you know what I'm saying, like every genre, you know what I'm saying, come from black people. Country come from black people. You know what I'm saying? That's why when they were mad at Beyonce because she made a country album, it comes from us. It doesn't come from you. All you did is copy. You know what I'm saying? You have no flavor. What type of flavor? You know what I'm saying? You're like a plain bagel, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We bring the flavor. We bring the music. We bring, you know what I'm saying, the happiness. We the joy of the earth. We bring things, you know what I'm saying, so when you're depressed, you can listen to and feel some, you know what I'm saying, a different way. We are the ones, you know what I'm saying, that's really care, you know what I'm saying, that have the melody inside of our blood, inside of our DNA. You don't have nothing. All you have is really unaliving people, unaliving everything, destruction. That's what you have. You know what I'm saying? We the one that created these things, you know what I'm saying, out of the gift that God gave to us and bring joy to the world. You understand? You have Christmas to bring joy to the world, and you rape people, you molest people during Christmas. You understand? You burn, you know what I'm saying, children during those days. Kidnap and go to Jeffrey Epstein Island, and you dress like Santa Claus or whatnot, and then you kill them. That's what you have. We are the ones that are the founders, you know what I'm saying, of those, you know what I'm saying, of those musics and everything. You understand? So Gene, you know what I'm saying, maybe you should, you know what I'm saying, like, and one thing I want to add also, right? You see all these white people that's taking black people music and black people, you understand, that ways, like even Eminem, they don't contribute nothing. They get rich off black people. They don't contribute nothing to the black community. And not just white people, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Arabs, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's doing hip hop. All this comes from black people. Yet, you know what I'm saying, you get revenues. African also, you get revenues and whatnot, yet you don't spend one dime in the black community. You don't show no respect to those people, you know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you became rich because, you know what I'm saying, of what they gave and their talent. You know you know what I'm saying, their inspiration and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And the day is gonna come and it's gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? Go back doing your boom bala, you know what I'm saying, like whatever, you know what I'm saying, like you do. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be the one, you know what I'm saying, making the best music and the best everything on this earth. So like
Kawakai. We're about to end the show, but let's segue into our episode of white peopling as usual. You understand? Make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, share everywhere, comment, questions, whatnot. Pay your tithes and your Passover fees. You understand?
Today's episode of Random White Acts of Danger, we have Exploring with Special White Breed Indeed. And immediately you're going to see free will is so crazy because you don't got to do all this. Red Bull nowhere in sight, so why is looking for vibes? Fear Unlocked, Thalassophobia is dark. Bring me back up, gangster. Why would you think I wanted to come with you? Are you insane? Like, nah, boy, that's got to be what hell look like. Yo, that's really the unknown. We don't know what could be down there. And you just stepping off the edge into what looks like guaranteed death. What if a fish just drag you to the bottom? Or like a mermaid, aliens? I believe in all that shit. Look how dark and how fast it get dark. Boy, my hands is sweating. I'm happy you did this for us, though, so now I never have to ever do this. Like, I'm almost mad you brought me with you. Like, I wish you would just kept the camera here and I could have let you disappear. But when I'm disappearing with you, it's like a jump scare is on the way. It doesn't even need to be no jump scare because I'm already about to have a heart attack. It's pitch black down in the fucking water. You doing this by choice? Oh, yeah, man. Special White Breed Indeed. Definitely why I be rocking with white people, though, because, like, a lot of shit would not get discovered without them. Like, I wouldn't be able to enjoy cave exploring, moving, grooving, vibing, sliding, flying through the air, pitch black dives without y'all. I'm not doing that. But, like, I could feel enjoyment through the screen, a little bit of fear and a little bit of question. Like, why? Do you not like your life? But you know what I'm saying? I'm entertained. I appreciate you. Already know. Ready, outro?
Listen, I'm telling you right now. Sometimes you have, it's like the brother said, you have to appreciate what white people do as far as exploring dangerous spaces on camera so that we enjoy the experience via our phone or whatever devices you're watching this from. Imagine, good night. This man just jumped into oblivion. Salak, yeah, the one. This is some white people. This was said. This is white people shit right here.
He went to the abyss.
He went into the abyss. He went into hell. He went into Sheol. You understand? You don't know. And you know the crazy part is, white people really, they have too much time on their hands. What possessed you to think, you know what? First of all, how did you even find the spot? That's number one. And then after finding the spot, you didn't think of, you know what? I'm gonna try to fish in there. I'm just trying to take a dip. The man see, yo, it's bottomless. Let me try to find where it stops. That's it. He found the edge underwater. He said, I'm gonna just jump down there. That's it.
Dude started becoming translucent.
Good night. I don't know what you're looking for, but hey, I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna say, hey, shalom.
So like I got an idea for white people, you know what I'm saying, white government industries, you know what I'm saying. You don't have to create a robot, you know what I'm saying, go to the, you know what I'm saying, the moon and whatnot, you know what I'm saying. It costs a lot of money. We could save that money. You could save that money and do something else. Help the homeless, matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of homeless, you know what I'm saying. Use that money. Don't create no robot, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot to go to Mars, to go down, you know what I'm saying, under the sea and whatnot. Just send a white man. There's a white man that will be glad, you know what I'm saying, and just go to Mars and whatnot. You know what I'm saying, in the weather, in the temperature, whatnot, you know what I'm saying, go in the bottom of the ocean. Just send a white man. You don't have to create a robot, you know what I'm saying. Keep that money to feed the homeless and take the homeless out of the streets. It's a lot.
Yeah, just send the white man. The white man will be glad to go into space, to discover another galaxy, to go into a black hole, to go. Send the white man. If you need to do exploration, right, send the white man. The white man loves to just do death-defying stunts as far as diving into the abyss with no lights. He didn't even have a light. You realize that he didn't have a light. The moment we seen a light is when he looked up. There was still a light from the day. And I guarantee you this, he would do this at night. That's the white man. He is he's more wild than any wild animal that is not even tamed. You understand? But with that, we're going to end the episode right here. One West Ground Zero every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, hosted by Officer 1000 Nadiyar, myself, Officer 500 Barak Yala. We'll see you next Sunday, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, shalom, Israel.
Check me out, dog. Roll the window up, man. The water. Ain't no better, dog, really. The son of a king. I don't Balenciaga. I might just wear Kyla. I might just wear the Pradas. But I'm thinking long term, so I might say the dollars. We ain't no better. I'm just being honest. I should've went to college, but I was thinking violence. It's a one West world. We the fucking livest. Break it down, we break ground. We don't break no damn promise. Let's get active, dog. Don't tell me how you feel about it. These cats saying too much. They ain't learn enough. You maxed out the first quarter, I'm still warming up. These niggas tossing up a brick, they can't score with us. Who gon' come against us? On the Lord with us. The niggas riding for you. Hope they ride till they crash. Put my name in your mouth, I put my belt to your ass. I ain't running no race, I just hope that I last. All them niggas you look up to, I consider them trash. Only time you seen a leader was in Wayne hand. Niggas will dap you, then pop you with the same hand. I'm a main player, I stick to the game plan. He don't really fuck with you, that's your main man. We them niggas came through and made your city hot. Yup, said he in the field, but he really not. And I ain't casting no stone, I just let him rock. And that's the kind of story they gon' read about. But if it's war, it ain't no tapping out. Grip still heat, spit like a dragon mouth.
The I.S.U.P.K presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West.